What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new episode of The 8 Below Show. Welcome everyone to 8 Below. Thanks for being here, guys, to the best entertainment-related show here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. In the aftermath of the Halo Infinite delay, I wanted to go ahead and talk about what this means, guys, for the industry moving forward at this point and what it really means for Xbox, because obviously they're the ones who are going to be suffering the most, I believe, from this move for, obviously what would be their launch title, or at least one of their launch titles with the Xbox Series X. So I want to get into that here, guys, and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So Halo Infinite, guys, this is a title that many of us have been waiting a long time for. And when you hear a delay, it's a really unfortunate thing, but at the same time, it's become honestly something that happens over and over again in the video game industry at large, which I think is a bigger problem. And I've talked about it here on the YouTube channel in the past about how I believe that when you look at video games as a whole in the gaming industry, they really need to get down those dates and kind of stick to those dates when they give us, the public, that. I think it hurts the overall release of the title. I also think it hurts the sales as well, because people are expecting it to come out one day, and then some people don't keep up when that game will be delayed for and when it comes out and such. So all in all, I think it's bad business at the end of the day to be consistently delaying a game. Now, it's worked for some games out there. Typically speaking, it's usually a good thing from the standpoint of the quality of the game. So when you see a delay happening, let's just give, for example, The Last of Us Part 2 was delayed. I think that we can probably agree that the extra time that they had from a graphics perspective to just polishing everything, finishing everything up, even though they didn't release with the, the online aspect or the factions aspect, I still think that, it's a good thing for the game when it comes to delaying it for, whatever it might be, polishing the game, whatever needs to be done behind the scenes. I think those things are very important. But all in all, from a business perspective, I think it actually hurts it in the long run, just because, this was going to be a launch title, that being Halo Infinite was going to be a launch title, that's first of all, which is, it's bad for business that it's being delayed, because it tells you that the game's not ready. And, even though you can look on it on the flip side saying, well, this is actually a good thing because we're going to get a more polished game at the end of the day, that's very true. But I think that all in all, it just shows you that this game was not ready. And when they revealed the trailer, sure, there were aspects of it I enjoyed, but I just felt that a lot of the issues were maybe, when some of the environments from that trailer looked like definitely they needed to add some, some things, and didn't really keep up with other games out there. Halo's never had the best of graphics in the world, but they've had some pretty decent graphics, and I think that, it's something that we're not necessarily playing Halo for graphics. We're playing it for the story and such, and then the multiplayer elements as well. But I think that from a graphical standpoint, especially the characters, that was the really that was the point where I thought there was a problem. The characters, Master Chief looks great, but the brutes, jackals, grunts, all these different enemy characters, just it didn't look up to what the standards are right now, especially being shown on the Xbox Series X, the very powerful machine that it is going to be. It's not good, right? It's not a good look. This isn't a good look that Halo is being delayed in the first place, because it was supposed to be a launch title. I'm going to kind of play devil's advocate here, why this actually, even for Xbox might, you can kind of look at it and think to yourself that maybe this actually kind of tells you Xbox's overall vision for the Xbox Series X is not to sell the consoles. Obviously, they're projecting selling, as many of the consoles as possible, but they're looking at it from the perspective, in my opinion, that they are trying to get you to sign up for Xbox Game Pass. They would rather you sign up for Xbox Game Pass than to necessarily go out and buy a new console. So whether they lock you in on the Xbox One or on the Xbox Series X, they're trying to get subscribers on the Xbox Game Pass, which, by the way, is the best gaming service in the entire industry, and it's not even close. I've said this many times on the YouTube channel that Xbox Game Pass is the Netflix of gaming. I believe the long-term vision for Xbox Game Pass is kind of like Netflix. It is to eventually have all Xbox original games and exclusive titles on it. So you get Xbox Game Pass and then you're able to play hundreds and hundreds of Xbox owned exclusives. And that's why they've gone out and bought a bunch of other, developers, companies and such. And so I believe, though, that Xbox is thinking to themselves, look, we're going to take a hit here. But we're also thinking that, even though we're going to take a hit, the game will be better. And we're banking on the Xbox Game Pass doing better for us over time because of all these exclusives that are coming out for Xbox. When you look at the grand landscape, that being, State of Decay 3, you look at the Perfect Dark reboot, which we haven't seen anything on, but that'll be coming out at some point or another. Look at Warhammer 40K, 40,000, Dark Tide. You look at, just game after game after game that's been shown off that are exclusives to the Xbox or Microsoft Windows, which is still, Microsoft who owns Xbox. So what I'm getting at here is they want you to sign up for Xbox Game Pass more than they want you to buy the console. Obviously, they want you to get the console, guys, but they would, I believe their strategy is the Xbox Game Pass. So this definitely hurts the sales of the Xbox Series X, but I think that they have enough confidence that they're going to sell the Xbox Series X based on how many people are signing up for Xbox Game Pass, and then showing off certain games over time. They're looking at it from a long-term vision here. They're not so much right here, right now, we're trying to sell X amounts of consoles, maybe like PlayStation is. And so I think that being that Halo Infinite did get delayed, it does really hurt Xbox in my personal opinion. But I do think it's actually, if you think of it from a long-term perspective, I think it's actually Xbox is going to be in a better place because they'll have a better Halo game. On top of that, Xbox Game Pass, I think that is the future here of gaming. Sure, PlayStation's probably going to have something like Xbox Game Pass down the road. The same thing with, even Nintendo probably. But if they allow Xbox to get pretty far ahead with this, they're going to be, like Netflix and everybody else trying to catch up like Disney Plus is and, of course, like all the different other streaming platforms, they're trying to catch Netflix. And so that's what I'm getting at here, guys. I think it's a long-term approach for Xbox. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Halo Infinite being delayed, what do you think? Is it all doom and gloom for Xbox, or do you think there might be some things within this whole, announcement of the delay that actually may be a good thing? Let me know what you guys think. And for more Halo Infinite content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Being a really big horror fan, as you guys know if you've watched my YouTube channel for a while, one of the titles out there that I haven't talked much about whatsoever on the YouTube channel is Dead Island. This is a title, guys, that I definitely wanted to start talking more about here on the YouTube channel because this is a title obviously coming out, the sequel, that being Dead Island 2. It's something I'm pretty excited about. And, after playing the first game, this has been one that's kind of almost been in a limbo state for me because Dead Island 1 came out in 2011 and I played it upon release. And I really enjoyed some of the concepts. There's this real heavy emphasis on melee combat in Dead Island. And I gotta say, guys, I didn't play the spin-offs. I did not play the spin-off, that being Escape Dead Island. I also didn't play Riptide, which was a standalone DLC expansion for the first game. And what I will say, though, is this. The first game had elements of it that I really enjoyed. There were other elements that I didn't like so much. There were definitely moments where I felt that Dead Island kind of reminded me of Dead Rising, which Dead Rising came out, and that was a little bit more of a cheesy take on it. Dead Island was a little more serious, which I liked a lot about Dead Island. But what I really wanted, though, are a number of things that I would like to see changed here between the first game and the second one. And so what I wanted to, go into here in this segment of the show is everything that we want in Dead Island 2. And when I say we, guys, I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts and opinions here, and I'd love to hear yours in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So from the first game to the second game, guys, some of the things that I would love to see, I would love to see more variety of weaponry. I want to see variety as far as enemies are concerned, as well as environments, that being like locations, like I said, different enemies, as well as characters. And it looks like overall, we're going to be getting a good amount of those things. It's called Dead Island, so you're thinking an island here, right? So that's most likely, there's only so many different types of environments you're going to have on a space like that. But I definitely want there to be some familiarity to the first game, not necessarily the spin-off. I heard, obviously didn't play the spin-off, but heard a lot of negative things about the spin-off. I also didn't play the DLC expansion, which I heard some pretty good things about from people close to me that had played the game or played the expansion. And so the things, though, for me are just having some similarities, but also having, significant differences. I liked a lot of the variety of the different ways you could take out enemies in Dead Island. There were times where things got frustrating, like running out of ammo, running out, things of that nature did start to kind of wear on you a little bit when you're talking about the sheer number of zombies that are coming at you. But I think that Dead Island 2, what I would love to see there is having familiarity to the series, obviously, but having those differences between, different enemies. I would love to have more variety on enemies. I think that's something that would be really cool. You think of games like Left 4 Dead, you think of even games like The Last of Us, Gears of War. These are titles that have evolved, what they started, especially, from one game to the next. I think Gears of War is a great example of consistently adding new enemies between each entry in their series. And so something like that. I know this is technically the second main entry. I guess you could really say the third main entry in the franchise of Dead Island. But I really want to see from 1 to 2 here. I really want to see some, vast differences of when it comes to enemies, even having, existing enemies, but having variety there, I think is going to be really important moving into this title. I would love to see a longer campaign. You guys know me, I love full packages, and so what I'm getting at with that is Dead Island is the perfect title, in my opinion, to be supporting co-op and multiplayer modes, which we know from the first game obviously had that, but I want to see like more of an emphasis on co-op play where you can play with your friends, go up against, waves and waves of zombies, like in a PvE format where you have, co-op missions, or playing multiplayer where you're going PvP against other people out there, being able to like customize, your characters, the weaponry you're using, things of that nature could be something really special as well. So all in all, Dead Island 2, I'm excited about this title. I really am. We don't know a lot about it yet. I mean, just because we've gotten, obviously the confirmation that it exists. We've seen some footage, but overall, guys, we still don't even know when the release date is. It's still to be announced at this point in time. And so it could be a long way off. It's tough to say, but I gotta say, I also believe that, Dead Island, what it would do really well with, and this was something that even with Left 4 Dead, I thought that could really, if it had elements that were free to play, I think it would actually draw a lot more people in to play the game. Dead Island did really well, guys, as far as from a perspective of, sales. It really built a nice sized fan base, but I think it kind of started losing people after the first game came out. And then when the second one came off, the spin-off Escape Dead Island, I think it kind of lost some of those people. I honestly, guys, when it released back in 2014, Escape Dead Island, I did not see any marketing for that title whatsoever. And so I think it almost got kind of lost in the shuffle. And then on top of that, November of 2014 was a time where there were other, games coming out, obviously, around that time. And we always know that in the fall going into the winter, there's typically a lot of, big titles that are competing against one another. So with Dead Island 2, guys, I think it needs to release somewhere in like the summer. I think it just makes sense, more tropical times and, things of that nature. I think it would be a great time in the summer to release Dead Island. So I'm anticipating it coming out somewhere in 2021, hopefully summer of 2021. But since we don't even have a release date yet, it may be, 2022 at this point in time. But with that, guys, I would love to hear from all of you, though. What do you guys want to see as far as Dead Island 2 is concerned? I mean, you heard one man's thoughts, and when I say free-to-play, guys, I mean probably multiplayer elements, co-op elements that are free-to-play, that bring more people in to try the game out, that can start to really continue building upon that fan base that they might have lost between, Riptide and Escape Dead Island itself. I think that they really could start building upon what they started with the first Dead Island, now kind of with that direct, that continuation here of Dead Island 2. So having free-to-play elements, we see, so many games out there now. There are AAA titles that have free-to-play elements that are growing their fan bases in a major way. I'd love to see the same here with Dead Island. I also would really like to see, guys, more of an emphasis here in Dead Island 2 of horror. And look, we know, guys, this is, typically speaking, when we look at Dead Island, this is a title that is a survival horror action role-playing game. So when you look at that, that tells you that, sure, it's action RPG, right? And which there's nothing wrong with that. But in the very beginning, though, those first two lines or first two words, survival horror, I would really like to see more emphasis on horror over action in Dead Island 2. And I know that might sound kind of crazy, might be really difficult for them to pull something like that off without it going just straight up horror. I just would really like to see more of a balance here from the first game to the second one of having horror, being a horror game, true horror with action elements versus that of an action game with some horror elements. I would really like to hear your thoughts on that, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Dead Island 2 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. A game that is quickly climbing on my most anticipated list for the future is State of Decay 3. This is a title, guys, that in my opinion, even though, the first couple of games didn't really draw my interest too much, and it wasn't until the third game's trailer that was revealed that I really started paying more attention to this franchise, started to go back and play these other two titles. What I will say is this, guys. This is a title that looks to be a direct competition against The Last of Us, which, of course, guys, State of Decay being owned by Xbox and then Last of Us being owned by PlayStation. What this is telling me is that State of Decay is going to take an aggressive approach to be the Last of Us of Xbox. And so with that, guys, I wanted to talk about all the things that we know so far about State of Decay 3. We can give our thoughts and opinions, and I would love to hear yours in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So guys, in an article written by Helen Lee of Looper, as announced during the July Xbox Game Showcase, a sequel to the open world zombie survival game series State of Decay is on the way. This is no surprise to fans of the franchise who've been hoping for a follow-up since State of Decay 2 came out in 2018 from developer Undead Labs. Rumors have popped up here and there to add credence to that idea too. Unfortunately, the new teaser for the game was just a short cinematic trailer and offered more in the way of hype than content, but confirmation that the game is coming is a good thing, which is true. It did give you more hype, and I think that the trailer was so well constructed, in my personal opinion, guys. I absolutely loved the trailer. I thought it was brilliantly put together. You guys can check out all my State of Decay 3 content on the YouTube channel. We've talked about the trailer in depth and what it could mean for the future. But with that, the release date. And what is the release date for State of Decay 3? So no release date has been set for State of Decay 3 yet. The cinematic trailer reveals almost nothing, perhaps implying development of the game is still in its early stages, given that this might not be a title that will be available when the Xbox Series X launches, which I would say, guys, it's probably not coming out on Xbox Series X right, as a launch title. It will probably come out I would say probably in 2021, potentially 2022. The announcement of the new installment in the series caught some fans by surprise despite the rumors, as Undead Labs has been churning out substantial DLC regularly for State of Decay 2. There are currently 3 downloadable content packs for State of Decay 2: Independence Pack, Daybreak Pack, the story-based Heartland, as well as the Juggernaut Edition, which comes bundled with the trio. The Juggernaut Edition came out on March 13th, so players have been wondering when the developer even had the time to start working on a new entry, which is true. And this is what this tells me about Undead Labs, guys. They are churning out the content. I mean, they are pumping out content with State of Decay 2, getting ready for State of Decay 3. They are passionate about State of Decay, and you can just see it, guys. Their hard work and such is being shown, guys, by what they're doing. Now, given this evidence, State of Decay 3 might take a while to finally come out. But at the end of the day, guys, it is going to probably come out on Xbox Series X. I do not believe it'll be a launch title. I believe this is something that'll come out in 2021 or 2022, maybe late 2021, or early 2022 would be my best guess. The short announcement trailer doesn't show much, but it does give out one strong message. Undead Labs is listening to its fans. The possibilities of adding live animals in the games has been discussed for ages. People have frequently talked about this subject on online forums such as Reddit and speculate how animals will work in this zombie-infested world. It seems few players were expecting a super scary wolf-eating deer, though. I gotta say, that was a very unnerving moment in the trailer, guys. Was absolutely incredible when we saw the girl in the beginning of the trailer scream at the wolf runs, and then later in the trailer she sees the wolf dead, and the deer, the zombie infested deer, screams at her. That's why I just thought that the trailer was so well crafted to give you this unnerving feel, but it also gives you this idea that they are listening to the fans, and that's the other part of Undead Labs. What they are doing and building here is something that could be really special moving onwards. And it took 3 games, or up to 3 games, at least a trailer, for me to buy in. And I'm hoping a lot more people are starting to buy in, especially from the horror community, guys. This has got me to go back to play the other 2 games and starting to invest my time with this franchise, because I think they're building something special here. So weather has also frequently made wish lists. People seem to think adding snow and other effects would bring new challenges and interest to the stealth and survival aspects of State of Decay's setting. However, the trailer doesn't truly reveal exactly how snow might affect the gameplay, but this teaser also reveals another surprise, a solo survivor. At least it seems like the character is going at it alone, which is something that's pretty tough to do in a game that's all about community survival tactics. Which, like I said, guys, when I alluded to earlier, this is, the Xbox way. Undead Labs is saying, okay, we have something here. We have a community here. We're building something here. But the way that we're going to, start implementing certain things, I believe their mentality is, we want to take on The Last of Us. We don't just want to be another horror game. We want to take on the big dog, that being The Last of Us, which is a huge task to start, trying to overcome and such. But man, if they're able to do something like that and be the Last of Us of Xbox, that could be something absolutely massive. Now, what platforms are we going to expect State of Decay 3 to be on? Microsoft acquired Undead Labs in 2018 after an 8-year partnership. That means State of Decay 3 is going to be an Xbox Series X console exclusive, although it will also be available for Windows, which is also, of course, owned by Microsoft. State of Decay 3 will also be available through Xbox Game Pass, which Microsoft is pushing as a way of getting access to many of its upcoming premium games with a small monthly subscription fee, which is absolutely awesome, guys, that you'll be able to play this game on Xbox Game Pass. And, with that, guys, there's a lot of things that we don't know about this game as of yet. But the things that we do know is that this is going to be most likely a pretty unnerving experience. The cinematic trailer, sure, it's only going to give you some effect, kind of like an announcement that this game's coming. But I got to say, guys, when I saw this trailer, they're really going at from a direction of they want to compete against The Last of Us. And it's very clear to me that they want to. They also want to have differences from The Last of Us. They don't want to just be a copy and paste. but you see her with the bow and arrow. You see, just with the zombie infested deer and the terror and the snow elements and such. It's creating, in my opinion, the foundation that could really take on something like The Last of Us, and that will be something really interesting. Now, obviously, a lot of what's made The Last of Us so popular is the characters. That's probably the big thing that's really made Last of Us so huge. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do that here with State of Decay, but they can certainly compete when it comes to a gameplay perspective, mechanics, when it comes to, just the chills, the sheer amount of terror. They could certainly potentially, compete in that way. But with that, guys, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this about State of Decay 3. We don't know a lot as of yet. We know it's on the way. We know this could be a very scary game when it does finally release for Xbox. And is this the game that Xbox is saying this is the competition to The Last of Us? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let's have a real conversation about it. And for more State of Decay 3 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Fable, or Fable 4 as many people have been calling it at this point in time, has of course been confirmed, guys, that it is going to be coming. We got a short teaser trailer of what to maybe expect, and what I wanted to go ahead and do, guys, is talk about everything that we know now about Fable and this upcoming reboot or continuation of this beloved franchise moving forward. And guys, I gotta say, I'm really excited about this one. I'm excited to kind of move forward in this franchise. This is one of the staples for Xbox and gaming as a whole. And I mean, I really want Fable to get back up there to kind of rejoin Halo and Gears of War as like the big three exclusives for Xbox. And, I think that it could very well do that here with this title. So let's get into it. So guys, in an article by PC Gamer, is Fable 4 headed back to Albion or wiping the slate clean? And so with Fable 4 is confirmed, and it's called, whether it's called Fable 4 or just Fable, it seems like it's just called Fable at this point in time. We obviously, guys, just got a teaser. The brief teaser we got at the Xbox Game Showcase didn't actually include a 4, but this is definitely the fourth main Fable game. And so a teaser trailer finally showed up in the Xbox July show after years of speculation, rumors, and denials from Xbox. Lionhead Studios is long gone, but the Fable name will live on with Playground Games, the studio responsible for Forza Horizon. We don't know much about the next Fable game just yet, but now that we've got official word that it's real, we can put all the speculation we've heard into context. So, the reveal trailer. First things first, it's light on detail. More than likely, this is just a fun cinematic that doesn't indicate much about the final game. It does have that familiar vibe of Tolkien-like fantasy being trod on by the messy reality of medieval life through. When is the Fable 4 release date? And so, guys, obviously the trailer was very short, didn't give us a lot, but I will say from a graphics perspective, looks great. Definitely looks like Fable. It does kind of look like Middle-earth-ish almost. It kind of reminds you also of like Elder Scrolls and such. It just bright, colorful, looks like, yeah, gonna be silly, but at the same time, that's what Fable's all about. When's the release date? So we have no clue yet, but it doesn't seem likely that it's coming in 2020. Since we've only seen a quick tease reveal so far, Fable 4 may still be a year or more away. Microsoft basically pulled an Elder Scrolls 6 on us, really a quick cinematic trailer ending with the title over a huge vista, which is basically, Elder Scrolls 6 was even less than what we got from Microsoft with Fable. But I would say, guys, that yeah, we are probably at least a year or so away. This is going to be a big title for Xbox, so I'm under the assumption that we will probably hear more about it early next year. Maybe we'll get the release date. I'm assuming it's going to come out, later next year or at some point in 2022. But that would just be a guess. We now know for sure that Playground Games, who'd been previously rumored as the Fable 4 studio, is definitely the team in charge. That lends a bit of credence to some of the other rumors we already heard about its take on Fable gameplay. According to a 2018 Eurogamer report, Playground had been chipping away at Fable 4 for a few years with a team of about 200 on an open-world action RPG. Playground beefed up a new Warwickshire studio just for it, so this definitely isn't a small-time Fable spinoff. So, the Fable 4 rumors that are out there, several script writers from Batman Arkham Knight joined Playground Games to work on the rumored Fable 4, as reported by VGC. As of August 2019, Arkham Knight senior scriptwriter Kim McAshill, Martin Lancaster, and Craig Owens are apparently on the project. Fable 4 setting rumors were drawn from a video leaked from an unverified source, allegedly providing a brief overview of Fable 4's setting and structure. So, it'll feature first and third person perspectives. This is according, guys, to this unverified source from this video that was leaked. It will feature first and third person perspectives, which would be interesting. Guns are gone, which I don't know if I really like that, but it's possible to ignore the main quest, which I don't know if I like that either. Players can build towns. I'm okay with that. There will be a multiplayer component. I'm definitely on board with that. It's built in the Unreal Engine. Okay. And time travel and interplanetary travel will feature. Okay then. Now, if this is true, okay, I don't know, guns, guys, okay, if they really want to go in this, medieval kind of style, like Elder Scrolls or something, okay then. But I don't know. I do not like the whole main quest. It's possible to ignore the main quest. Does that mean that, overall, does that mean that, obviously we want side missions. Obviously we want all those things. But when you say to ignore the main quest, does that mean that you don't have to go around the main narrative? That's the only thing I'm wondering. If you can just do side missions on your own, you don't have to necessarily do the main quests. You can kind of go at it at your own pace. I'm totally cool with that. I just don't really want to be forced to do side missions, and I don't want to there to be different narratives and such if I decide not to do a main quest. Time travel is very interesting. Multiplayer, I've always said, guys, AAA titles should all be a full package, having campaign, multiplayer, as well as co-op modes, just because it justifies a $60 price tag, and it brings you back to the game after you're done beating the campaign. So, we don't have any confirmation on the rumor itself, but the official trailer for Fable 4 gives the description: Fable returns with a new beginning for the legendary franchise. Explore a land of fantastical creatures and wondrous places. We can't say for sure that Fable is getting a new beginning based on an asteroid, but hey, that would be a heck of a way to clear the slate. And I agree. I mean, I think that there's so many ways that they could actually go and really move in a really positive direction here. So, it should be interesting. This last part is pretty interesting as well. Will they put the 4 in middle of the name because it looks like an A? And so for Fable, will they put the 4 where the A is? It's hard to say. They didn't, at least at this point in time, which I'm kind of glad they didn't either. Just them calling it Fable kind of gives us this implication that maybe they're just going to go with a soft reboot here. I think it might be called something like Fable, the New Kingdom, or something like that. I don't know if they're going to go with Fable 4 because it's been so long since the third one. I think that this is a new Fable for a new generation of gamers, and so calling it Fable and then having the New Kingdom or something along those lines makes sense. Having it as a soft reboot would be very interesting, but I'm excited for the new vision here, Playground Games, given this IP, to see what they can do with it. And so far, I am incredibly excited, guys, to say the least. But let me know in the comment section down below, what are you most excited about with the Fable reboot? Are you guys excited for it? When do you guys think we'll actually be able to play this game? Will it be next year, a couple years from now? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And for more Fable content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of The 8 Below Show. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.